everybody. We're here at Gamescom, and myself and Maxwell have just seen XCOM Enemy Within, which is a new expansion, right, Maxwell, for Enemy Unknown.
It's not just a DLC pack, it's a full-blown expansion, but something that you pointed out that I think is important is that unlike other expansion packs, it's not like its own separate module that you then go into after finishing Enemy Unknown. It sort of layers on top of the main game.
So some of the things that are included in the new pack is we've got like 8 new maps.
There's a lot of stuff.
Finally, it's not like, is that something that irked me a little bit in Enemy Unknown is you'd be playing the same missions or different missions.
Yeah, you kind of go to the same convenience store over and over, and that Woodlands area kind of looks familiar.
Yeah, exactly. But we got 8 more, which is good. So variation, spice of life, and all that.
And something he mentioned on the topic of maps is that UFO crashes now just don't always happen in forests.
Yeah.
They can happen in urban areas, and I think we got to do a little hands-on. And our UFO crashed in like a little farm community.
Yeah, so nice. Variation of crashes. Maybe it was just really big tall trees.
More crashes, basically.
That's good. But that's not all. I mean, the really exciting stuff, I think, is the kind of new soldier types and the new enemy types as well. So what was your favorite new soldier type?
My favorite new soldier type would have to be the mech suit. It's a big, armored, mechanized, hulking suit. It's gigantic.
Finally.
Does not use cover, but has a whole bunch of health, a whole bunch of different weapon augmentations you can put onto it, but very expensive to produce.
Expensive in what way, though?
Well, it uses this new resource called Meld, I believe it was, which is a special resource you find out on the map. They come in these little canisters that have a timer on them. You got to run up to them, click on them like you would defuse a bomb in a game, and it goes into your inventory. You can then use the Meld to build the big hulking cybernetic units, which cost a whole bunch of resources, or you can parse them out piecemeal with the genetic upgrades.
Which are my favorites. So you get these other guys who, as you say, genetic upgrades. You have to build a genetics facility where they go and get implanted with all this stuff, and you get these different abilities, like the ability to jump on top of high objects. Super useful for snipers. And you've also got the ability for like a kind of cover, a cloak that makes you invisible when you're in full cover.
They had one where like the sectoid commander came out, he tried to mind control one of the genetically engineered units, and he was like, nope, shut down.
Feedback,
immediately feedback, and it did a
good.
ridiculous amount of damage, blew up his brain.
Brilliant.
Is what happened.
Yeah.
So in addition to the new classes, the aliens also have some new tools as well. There are going to be new alien units. They weren't quite ready to just go down the whole list of what they are going to be. The one that they did show was the enemy mech unit.
Yeah, the sectoid mech.
Sectoid mech.
Something like that, anyway.
So XCOM units, like I was saying, you can build giant mech suits. The enemies will also have their own giant mech units that have a tiny little sectoid head in the middle, which is actually kind of cute. So there's two sides to every coin, as it were, when it comes to mech units.
Fantastic. So when are we going to be able to get our hands on Enemy Within?
Enemy Within comes out mid-November, and it's going to be coming to all the platforms, PC, Mac, 360, PS3.
Wonderful.
And stay tuned to GameSpot.com for more Gamescom coverage and more coverage of Enemy Within.